Hey guys, Outdoor Prepper, I want to welcome you back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little interesting. We're going to try to take my small Champion dual fuel generator and hook it up to the Reliance transfer switch and see if we can power the house. Or let's just see if we get power to the transfer switch panel. Now this generator is not equipped with a twist lock outlet or a travel trailer outlet. It is only equipped with two Edison 120 volt plugs. So you're probably wondering, how are we going to do this? Well, let's go take a look. I've got a couple of pieces of cabling here. Let's go ahead and take the cover off so you can see what we're working with here. Now this is the standard Champion dual fuel 2500 watt inverter. It's 2500 watts when it's running on gasoline. Propane, you do lose a little bit of power. And I've got a few cables here. I'm going to hold these up in front of the camera. So this is your standard twist lock cable that you would plug into a generator with a normal 120/240 outlet. And then you would take this end and you would plug it in to the transfer switch right there, which has basically a receptacle. It looks kind of like this to receive it. So obviously this generator does not have that outlet on it. And let me turn it around so you can see kind of what we're working with here. This basically only has the standard 120 plugs. So what we're going to do, or we're going to try to do, and I've never done this obviously, is I bought this cable from AC Works. Let me hold it up here so you guys can see it. And basically what this cable is, let me show you the product number in case you're interested in buying a similar one. I got this on Amazon. It was about, I don't know, $20, $30. And it basically converts your standard NEMA 515 plug, which goes into your regular Edison outlet, your 15 amp outlet, which is what this generator has, and it converts it into a NEMA L1430R 30 amp plug. Now, just to be clear, you're still limited by the amperage that the generator produces. This plug does not increase your amperage. But what it will do is it will allow you to take your standard outlet, which I can zoom in, is right there, and it should allow us to hook it up to this Reliance cable and then go right into our transfer switch. So the reason that I want to try this is, obviously I have a larger generator. I have the Predator 5000 dual fuel inverter, which we're also going to try to hook up to the transfer switch in a different video. But I think this is a good backup. So let's just say the Predator fails, you know, maybe there's a real large grid down scenario and I've really got to conserve fuel, so I want to switch to a lower wattage unit that burns less fuel. This would be great because then I can power the fridge through the transfer switch. I don't have to run extension cords all over the house. I can power a couple of lighting circuits that take LED lights, so very low wattage usage. And then I can power some communications equipment, a TV, the internet router, a computer, you know, some very basic stuff, some fans. You know, I don't want to overload the generator, but if I can hook this into the transfer switch and do the fridge, some lights, some communication, and maybe some cooling in the way of a fan or a couple of box fans, I think that would be great. So what I want to do right now is I want to get the generator set up. I'm going to hook it up to propane, because I prefer to use the propane. Then we're going to use this cable that I bought. We're going to plug it into one outlet. We're going to use this end and plug it into that longer cord. And then the longer cord is going to plug into the transfer switch. And then we're going to go downstairs into the basement. We're going to take a look at the transfer switch, and we're going to just take a basic lighting circuit and flip it from line over to generator, and we're going to see if it powers it. And if it powers it, well then clearly I know it's going to power, you know, everything else that I need. Again, I've got to stay within the wattage, I've got to stay within the voltage, I've got to stay within the amperage that the generator can handle. So this is a 15 amp outlet in the generator, so that's what we got to, you know, stay within. So let's go get this set up. So we're going to run it on propane. So I'm just going to move this cable out of the way. I'm going to get the propane regulator. So obviously if you watched my other video, this is the regulator that came with the generator. You know, let's move the generator just a little bit away from the house. So let me do that and then we'll come back in 1 second. Okay, so I've moved the generator a little bit away. So there's the transfer switch inlet. And just so you can see what this looks like, got the regulator in one hand, but let's flip this up. So you can see that's the standard 4-prong inlet right there, and I've just moved the generator right over here. So just a smidge away from the house, you know, just for safety. I don't want to let carbon monoxide blow into the house. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to connect the generator to the propane tank, and then I'm going to take that plug that we bought, plug that into the generator, and plug it into the transfer switch, and then we'll start the generator up. We'll go downstairs, flip everything over, and see what happens. Well, when I say everything, I mean we're just going to flip a lighting circuit over just to test. I don't want to actually turn off everything in the house right now. All right, so that piece is in. We're going to get our generator hooked up here to the propane tank. Actually, this is a really good time to just do a little bit of housekeeping, because I always do forget to ask this, but if you find this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and also ring that bell for notifications. It really helps the channel, and it helps me to continue to produce great videos for you guys. So I brought the cables over here, so I want you guys to get a closer look at what I'm doing exactly. So this is the AC Works adapter that I bought on Amazon, and as we can see, these are compatible. So we're just going to align a little prong here where it's kind of on an angle with this one. We're just going to hook these up just like that and kind of twist it so they lock. Now this does not produce 240 because this is not a 240 generator, so just so we're clear. And now I'm going to plug this end into the generator, and then we're going to plug the other end into our transfer switch. All right, so that's in there nice and secure. And now we've got this end right here. Let's turn the camera just so you guys can kind of see what we're doing here. And it's good to practice this stuff now during daylight when you've got, you know, ample time, there's no emergency. Because let's just say that Predator generator that I have fails for whatever reason. You know, at least I've got a backup here. All right, so this is where the prong is angled, and this is where it's angled. This is always a little challenging sometimes, but there we go. So we're in, and we've twisted it, so we're locked in. So now again, just to kind of zoom out and show you, we've got the transfer switch plugged in through this 10-foot cable, plugged into this 1-foot adapter. We're into the generator now. So the plan now is to start the generator up, get it up to speed, you know, let it idle for about a minute, maybe no longer. And then we're going to go downstairs. The transfer switch right now is all set to line power for the whole house. I don't really want to have to switch things over to the fridge and everything else. I know the fridge is well within the wattage output of this generator, so I just want to flip a lighting circuit. If the lighting circuit works, we're in business. And then this is a successful test, and this shows you guys how for very little money you can use this small portable generator to power your house, or at least enough of your house that the generator can handle. And again, to put this in perspective, I can power pretty much every single light in the house, interior and exterior, on this generator because they're all using LED, and so it's very, very low wattage. We're talking maybe 200 watts max to power every light in the house. The fridge, once that's running, we're talking maybe 300-400 watts. Yes, there's a slight surge when it starts. Again, well within the limitation of the generator. Any communication circuits, television, router, internet, all low wattage. Cable box, low wattage. Box fan, you're talking maybe 45-50 watts. This generator can do all of that. Can it do a window AC? Yes, it can. However, the window AC and the fridge and lighting might be a little too much. So you've got to kind of pick and choose with what you're doing here. But again, this is for emergency usage. My main generator has hypothetically failed, so I want to use this. I also want to mention on propane with a quarter load, this unit can run for 34 hours. That's a long time. So again, the purpose of this is for emergency usage. Let's get this started up right now. Let's go downstairs and see what happens. Now, last thing before we start it, I've gotten a lot of comments in the other video that you don't need to use the choke feature. That is actually incorrect. The manual on page 9 does state to use the choke. Put it on choke, pull it 3, 4, 5 times, and then it's going to sputter and attempt to start, but it will not start. Then you switch it over to propane, pull it, and start it. The reason for that is you're purging the air out of the line. So when you hook this up to the tank and you turn on the tank, there's still air in the line until it gets purged through the carburetor. So let's give it a try, let's get it started. So right now we're on propane. I've switched it over to choke. Tank is off, we're going to turn the tank on. We don't need to touch the valve on the fuel cap because that's only if you're using gasoline. I'm going to go ahead and pull this 3, 4, maybe 5 times until it kind of sputters. Then I'm going to switch it to propane and we're going to start it up, hopefully. All right. Do one more time. All right, now let's switch it over to propane. Let's see if it starts. Guys, that was perfect. That started right up exactly as the manual indicated it would. I had it on choke. I primed it on choke, turned it to propane, started right up. It's really quiet, as you can see, with that green light on the left, right over there. That is showing that it's on eco mode. So it starts on eco mode by default. If you press that again, it will take it off eco mode. It will idle up a little bit louder. I really don't need the extra power. Like I said, we're going to go downstairs and do a couple of lighting circuits. So let's take the camera. We're going to do this in real time. Let's go take a walk downstairs. And we're going to take a look here at the lighting circuit. All right, so we're here in the basement. For security reasons, we're going to keep this aimed at the floor. All right, so now we're down here at the panel. And if we come over here and we look at the transfer switch, we can clearly see that we've got a couple of circuits laid out here. We've got our fridge, master bedroom, which is all lighting, and obviously a few outlets for the clock. The oven, it's a natural gas oven, so the power requirement is very low. We're basically just using the power to power the igniter. Basement, this is lighting circuit, and it's also an outlet right here, which controls the Verizon optical network terminal so we can get some TV. Then we've got the router upstairs. Sunroom, lighting circuits in the TV. Furnace, this is an oil-powered furnace. We've got a tank here, a furnace right here. Can this generator power the furnace? I believe it can. We'll test that in the winter time and post another video. Let's see what else we got. Son's bedrooms, kitchen lights, GFI. So the GFI is actually this outlet. I was incorrect. Then we've got the master bathroom. Again, these are all lighting circuits mostly. So let's go ahead and we're going to take the downstairs basement circuit, and we're on line right now. We're going to go to the center, which is off, and then we're going to go to the top, which is generator, and we should get some power. So let's see what happens. Look at that. We're back. We've got power now. As you can see, we're on the top, which is generator. So I think, guys, this is an absolutely successful test. This proves my point that we can easily power a load with this generator. These are meters to show you the voltage usage of each line. So on this one, we can see that it's ticked up just a little bit. So this is the line that we're using, or the leg that we're using for the power for the basement right now. All right, so like I said, this really kind of proves the test here, that this will work if we need it in an emergency. And again, there's no 240 volt circuits here. These are all 120 volt. These are all within the amperage that the generator can handle. We're not going to turn everything on at the same time because that could potentially overload the generator and cause it to trip out. But we'll keep the fridge on if needed. We'll keep a lot of the lighting circuits if needed. We'll keep the basement. We'll keep the sunroom. What will we not do? Maybe we won't use the furnace. Maybe we won't power a window AC. But everything else I think is going to work fine. So let's go back outside and we'll shut everything down and kind of wrap this up. So I did forget one thing. Let's just switch this back over to line. So again, right here, we're on generator, which is the top. Then middle is off, bottom is line. We're going to take the basement. We're going to go to the middle. Lights are out. Back to the bottom, we're back to line. So now let's go back outside. Just shutting the panel. We're going to shut the unit down, and then we'll kind of do our recap. And again, I do ask you, if you enjoy this video, if it was helpful, if you could hit like and subscribe, it really does help the channel. Here we're back outside, generator's just plugging away. Now, the best way to shut a generator off that's running on propane, you obviously can turn the knob to off. It's actually better just turn the tank off, let the propane just run out of the line, and you're good to go. So guys, again, thank you for watching. I'm going to do a second video. I'll follow up a little bit later on. And we're going to use the Predator 5000 dual fuel from Harbor Freight, which I think is an amazing unit. And we're going to hook that up to the transfer switch. We're going to use a travel trailer plug, and I've got an adapter for that. Let me just show you what that looks like. It's the same concept. We've got the same piece here. We've got the travel trailer plug here. So we're going to use this, hook it up to the transfer switch, do the same test. Thanks for watching.